Hello, and welcome back to the tranquil surrounds that is Corthos Island. I think I must like this little spot on the edge of the village. Maybe it appeals to my slightly antisocial nature, or just not liking crowds in general. So welcome back for another brand new life. This one I've been quite looking forward to because in company with plenty that's gone before. This barbarian class, we're going to call it Purple Rage, I think. Um, I have never tried the class properly before. I've done it as an inquisitive on my main character, just to zoom through the life like people sometimes do. And as expedient as that was, I do somewhat regret that now because I know nothing about the class itself. Inquisitive to me should be well, it kind of is a class in its own right, isn't it? And it's a build and a play style all of its own, and you sort of borrow bits from the various class trees to go with it. But it's nothing to do with Barbarian, so I never touched on any aspect of the Barbarian apart from faster run speed, I guess, when I was doing that. So I've taken the liberty for the first time since beginning the series of trying to plan one myself, looking in the DDO builder and kind of mapping out our journey as I'd like it to go. Obviously, I expect a few lumps and bumps along the road, but I've done my best to plan it out, and we'll see how we go. Um, what was I going to mention? I've got a few little notes here. Oh yes, barbarians are that you have to be non-lawful to take barbarian classes. So if, as is the case here, you take the first level in a different class, we've taken fighter, I'll explain in a minute, then you need to make sure you're not doing lawful. We are chaotic neutral here. I've done it before actually with a paladin mixture, where the paladin wasn't the first class, and by mistake I didn't choose lawful good as the alignment, and that caused me to basically waste a life. Because I don't think you can change the alignment, can you, with the lesser heart? So I ended up with a favoured soul life on my ranged character, which does nothing whatsoever for him. It was a decent life with the monster heal, but not the past life I was looking for. So there's that little pitfall to avoid. Right, stats. We've gone with strength. We're going to be strength based. Constitution, and the surprise one would be the wisdom. I'm going to add a level of favoured soul for sort of midway through the heroic leveling for the trans ability, the bonus to damage and tactical feats, and that's going to come from our wisdom. We have a choice obviously between wisdom or charisma for that, and I was advised to go with wisdom to boost the will saves as well. Our reflex save is lacking there, isn't it, on account of the low dex, but I will be boosting reflex in the Reaper tree, so hopefully that'll be okay. So yes, a brutish half-orc seemed to be the only way to go for Barbarian. I look forward to discovering that tree and putting it to good use, because I haven't, at least up to this point, made any character which actually made good use of the half-orc tree. The only 3 half-orc lives I did were on my main character, just as a warlock, because he happened to be doing warlock racial lives at the time. And again, I quite regret, I think in that instance it was because I didn't have gear to, particularly melee gear, to sort of build around something like this. But I do regret that I got no use whatsoever out of the the racial tree or and didn't build to its strengths. Whereas here we certainly are. I'm envisaging putting 20 plus points into this tree this time. So straight away, we could actually put another point. I'm not going to. I'm going to wait to be able to put up this hit and damage line with the two-handed weapons. But straight away we've got +2 morale bonus to strength when we are below 80% health. So with my basic maths, that tells me when we're around sort of 65 on the hit points, maybe a bit more than that, we're going to be getting that bonus. I'll look for it to flash up in the buff bar maybe, or maybe we'll get a text reminder for that. And if that's the case, for the first time since as long as I can remember, it'll actually pay us not to heal up to the max. So I'll have to keep an eye on that and see if that's worth doing. I suppose it's only a +1, but every little bit helps. While we were in the enhancement trees, so we took the first level as fighter. Why did we do that? I've already mentioned we're going to take a level of favoured soul. Level 13 I think I have that slated for. So that means we can't have the capstone and leaves us with another spare level, because we would want 18 barbarian and I guess 1 and 1. The standard thing for an endgame build I think would be a warlock for that arcane warrior thing, which goes with the pulsing aura thing they have to boost the melee power. As I'm not doing that and I'm not interested in playing the build at the cap, I thought it might be nice to have the fighter for an extra feat, and also access to haste boost from level 1, which has been an absolute never for me. So I'm looking forward to seeing that baby in action. I have a universal point for purple, so I just threw it in the Harper first core for +1 hit and damage. And I think for the moment that's it. The biggest thing is the haste boost from level 1. You watch, I'll just forget to trigger it. Okay, so that's that. Let's just have a quick look at the feats we chose. So obviously as a fighter we were able to choose, is it going to show me on here? Yes. We were able to choose 2, one of which was a bonus fighter feat for level 1. So I took Stunning Blow. As you might know if you followed any of the other series, I run mostly, if not completely, alone with these series. So I really do like my crowd control for nasty things like Reapers and Red Crowns, that kind of thing. And this seemed to be the ideal one to trial Stunning Blow, being strength based and lacking. I'm not sure, do they get any CC at all in the tree? I don't know, I honestly don't know. So to have this from level 1 seemed like a nice deal. If it works well enough, maybe we could try early Reaper ones and see how we go. And the other one, the staple two-handed fighting. So at the moment, according to this, we have a 4 in 5 chance to hit 2 targets in front of us every time we swing the it's an axe at the moment, the beginner's great axe. What is it? Flaming great axe or something. Nothing to write home about. The only piece of gear I've just got bits from the Borderlands, shield clickables, speed clickables, and a couple of potions, heroism and jump. And the only piece of gear, as always, that's any good at level 1 is the Canis crafted fearsome robe of invulnerability. So the fearsome causes them to be stricken with fear and run off when they hit us. So if we have a big crowd around us, we have a chance to have it reduced a bit, that way. The invulnerability DR5 only in the very earliest levels, because most things start having magic weapons as you go higher up. but it just gives you that little bit of a cushion. Really, really nice to have if you can craft that on a piece of armor. I went with robes because then it can be used by any character type. So the alchemist had it last life, and now we've got the barbarian using it. I did actually have a piece of beginner medium armor that I threw on just for experimentation, and all I got from that was 2 on the PRR, so 2 more PRR. So it's hardly worth it anyway for what it gave. Proudly sporting our epic past lives here. Now, if this was an ideal world, I would have, instead of that, which will do nothing for us, that's a caster one, energy criticals, we would like enchant weapon from the arcane sphere to give us +3 to attack and damage. We don't have that, so I just threw this on. I don't know if it'll do anything, probably never, but it's there anyway. 3 times double strike, so that's 9% double strike, which is very nice. If we had, if we were a serious melee player, we could have got another 6 double strike from the iconic Aasimar Scourge toggle. So that would have been nice too. The only iconic life he has is the purple dragon, so that I've got that sprint boost down there at the moment. So yes, 9 double strike, which is quite tasty, 3 on all saves, and this latest one, just recently acquired, 3 times ancient power, so 2 attack and damage per stack when two-handed fighting. So that's 6 to attack and damage, that's a big deal. So nice to have, especially as this isn't the last of the two-handed lives that's coming. We have a fighter one to do. We have paladin possibly to show on the channel. I was thinking of doing a blade forged for that. And there's a rogue. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the rogue. I thought possibly to show a potential inquisitive build, seeing as they're so popular, and my little archer red actually levels using inquisitive, but the end build is a bow. Okay, so that's the gear. Enhancements and past lives we've done. Weapons, we're going to be going with anything slashing. Great axe, great sword, falchion, whatever the best thing is we can find available at the time. Flavour wise, I quite like a brutish orc wielding an axe, but we'll take whatever we can find. I think the best at level 4 would be the Carnifex axe from the Delira's chain, but sadly I don't have that. I think that's a 17 to 20 times 3, which is a pretty decent profile for an early weapon. I'll see what I can come up with, but I definitely don't have that. If you've been watching one or two of these, you might wonder what the motivation is for all this, or you might just want me to shut up with the waffle and get to the quest, in which case there's always the fast forward slider down below. My motivation is kind of twofold. First of all, as I've kind of touched on already, to explore many of the classes properly that I all but skipped over when I was doing the completionist on my main character, and in so doing to have more fun doing the lives and to get more of an understanding when I group with these types of classes in the bear party of what I can expect from these and what they might like from me. For instance, the Barbarian. There is a Barbarian in the bear party at the moment, and it's come to my attention they get a lot of extra damage when things are made helpless. So on occasion I can literally just stun things with the druid and leave the Barbarian to it and just forget about it. A stun's as good as a kill in that company. The second thing it's been a nice way to meet members of the community and get some of your feedback, which has been great. Kind of on my own terms. I found it really difficult, and still do, to throw myself into any of the public groups, the LFM. I've heard from others in the Bear Party that generally in Orion the atmosphere in the public groups is nice, and people are helpful and positive, so that's great. But it's just something I've always found difficult to do. So I guess this was my way of kind of bringing the community to me a bit on my own terms. And you folks have been great with your feedback, really helpful and positive. So I'm really grateful for that. Okay. Let's have a look, see what we've got today quest-wise. There we go, there's our great axe. So strategy is going to be very simple. I'm packing my potions of cure series from Kundarak. What's that? Yeah, okay. I've got all three of the... Well, the stunning blow I had to use a feat for, but I've got the other two as well, the auto-granted trip and sunder on here. And these two in particular, I hope to make. I mean, they're all going on strength, so I hope to make use of all three, but particularly those two, because they're going to be crowd control for us, aren't they? So I definitely would like to see how we can go on with them. Let's have a little go at this one here. I've used enough of the little XP stones and the box quest, if you know what that is, in the harbour, to already reach level 2. But you may know I like to do one at level 1 just as a bit of an intro. So we're going to choose this one. Okay.
From deep in the crypt, you hear the strange and unsettling
no hireling, but I think in the future, once our cure serious potions are beginning to struggle, I think that may be in our future. The one thing I don't want to do is to struggle like we did in our Tempest Ranger life, to struggle unnecessarily. If I feel like we need a hireling, I'll go for it.
If you search the wall, you may discover
Let's get the old haste boosting straight away. Wow, boom, that was a big one. Can we get down here while the haste boost is still going? Another thing I've done, I've got the dice out from behind the... It always appears behind my beautiful stun there. Let's try the trip. Oh, yes, it worked. Nice. The dice always seems to appear in this corner behind where my hotbars are, so I never get to see what's going on with that. So I made a point this life of changing that. Right, stunning blow. Look at that. Happy days. And trip. No, didn't work. Saved. Okay.
These foul cultists, take care to keep your own health. Another treasure chest.
So what did it? That's going on a fortitude save. That's on a reflex, and this is fortitude. Okay, but Sunder, the minus fortification, I think would be more useful on bosses, wouldn't it? So we're going for a trip on this guy. No, the trip's not doing very well, is it? And you can't stun the undead by the looks of it. No. So I'm going to have to learn as we go along. Just as we have in the past with caster things, what things are immune to stuns and such like. I tried a trip there, missed it. Of course, there's something I haven't really run into before, that the stunning blow, you've got to aim it and you can miss with the shot. Oh, got two there, beautiful. That was the strike through. Awesome.
In the middle of this chamber is an evil devourer altar.
Going for the trip. No, they're saving all the time, aren't they, against trip?
altar collapses, a third crest appears. It glows with cold magic.
Okay. I think there is a sprint boost in one of the Barbarian trees, which I might make use of if we need
A
some
magical
points to
barrier
fill.
blocks the way, and behind you fit the last crest in place, and the magic shield
Haste boost, go.
dissipates. The Sahu, the last devourer altar shatters.
Trip.
Your bold action saved
Okay.
Porthos and brought the
So the
Sahu
haste boost is really
spellstone
rocking
to
and
life.
rolling, although we won't
Treasure chest in
really
the
tell that,
antechamber
will we,
is now
until we're
yours.
doing the Reaper one. But I suspect that between the stunning blow and the haste boost, we might have a chance against the Reaper. And the AoE that we have as well from the outset. I mean, that's one thing that is nice. Unlike on these casters that we've been doing, having to mess about swinging a weapon until such time as you're high enough to be able to stand on your own 2 feet spell-wise. Here, right out of the gate, we're rocking and rolling, and he mashed somebody there for over 100, didn't he? Which at level 1 is pretty tasty, I think. So yeah, I enjoyed that. I don't think there's anything there for us. Is it a Constitution one? Why not?
Some of the braver villagers tried to stem the Sahuagin tide,
Okay.
but their courage led to naught but
Skills
injuries.
wise, I didn't mention the
Porthos
skills, did
needs
I? Of
someone
course, with
with
our
more
very
than
low
just
intelligence, we're not going to
guts.
get very much on that side. I am trying to stack Intimidate with a view to either, if we end up running with other Bear Party members, there's kind of an outside chance of that, or more likely, we might need a hireling to keep us alive, and therefore it will be advantageous to us to be able to intimidate things around us to not attack the hireling. So that's why I took Intimidate. I don't think there's anything I've missed in there, so it remains for me to thank you all very much for looking, and we will see you at level 2. Take care.